My name is Taylor Harrell. I am a political consultant. I do a lot of field organizing for different politicians, such as I work very closely with Councilwoman Mary Sheffield, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence, and gubernatorial candidate Gretchen Whitmer.
My name is Kyra Harris. I am an attorney and I work in civil litigation in downtown Detroit. From my understanding, Black Wall Street was built out of necessity, first and foremost because we didn't have the same rights as others, but it grew into something much more where we actually learned our power. So basically it was a community of African Americans with different businesses, and they all lived and thrived off of one another until that community was destroyed, lightly destroyed, which is the same thing that happened here with Black Bottom, and I believe also there was a prevalent Black community in Central Park.
I think that Black businesses bring a sense of togetherness and a sense of power. I think when we see ourselves thriving, or when we see that we own something like Detroit versus everybody with Tommy Walker, when we see that taking off and see it was in was NBA, NRA, what's that movie?
NWA?
NWA.
I was like,
excuse me, I'm not really into like music.
Yeah, no.
But when it was in NWA, we seen they had the t-shirts on. We was like, dang, that's us, you know. And so when one Black person wins, I think we internalize that as a win for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely think that that was one of the better things with Black businesses in Black Wall Street.
I really feel like there is no freedom without economic freedom, period. As long as we're relying on other cultures, other races for all of our needs, we are never going to truly be free in this country. So that's why it's imperative to have those communities such as Black Wall Street, Black Bottom, because they're communities of Black people where we can live and thrive off of one another. There's no way that we can keep depending on other people and still say that we want this, and this, and that.
Right. I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, there's no way.
Right.
They're just gonna say no.
Yeah.
You have to hit those pockets. But really, the Black Wall Street represents a freedom, and that's why, again, back to your point, it was bombed, destroyed, because it not only represents economic freedom and it pulls those dollars from other communities, but it also represents the freedom of the Black person, which, you know, can't have that.
They have a free Black person.
Yeah.
We have downtown Detroit, for example, which we have the youngest woman ever elected to Detroit City Council has our downtown area in her district. And you see now that in her campaign, they've thrown a woman who has been a county commissioner since 1992, finally wants to run for Detroit City Council. Why all of a sudden run? Because you have this young Black woman asking for dollars for Black businesses, asking to allow Black people into our downtown area. You have Dan Gilbert, who owns a lot of things with Rock Connections in the downtown area, who have pushed a lot of Black businesses who have been there for years. He is now pushing them out by raising the rent or not allowing them to lease from his buildings simply because he doesn't want them there. He doesn't want their businesses. He doesn't want Black people into the area. And so now how to get them out is to have someone who's going to push the white man's agenda. They're going to do their best to make sure that she's elected and push this young Black girl who want Black people to thrive and want Black people to start investing in their own. They're going to push her out. And so even with the Pistons arena, she says a lot of the city council members are in agreement that the position should be moved to the city of Detroit. But the council member Sheffield says, sure, I think it's a great idea, but what are going to happen to these older black people who live here? Where are they going to go? They have nowhere to go. So unless they're going to be taken care of, I can't agree or coincide with this being built down here. And so you have a lot of issues with that.
I agree with everything. And actually, this is something I've been kind of internalizing. I really feel like, well, disclaimer, I was born and raised in Southfield, Michigan. And what I saw growing up was a community of affluent, relatively middle class, majority black city. And at the time, it was probably one of the only ones. I mean, of course there are other, but there are not many communities that are majority black and also middle class. So it is my goal, or at least I would like to see Southfield be that hub, because I feel like it's ripe. It's ripe for that type of situation. And I know that, well, being the demographics of the city, you can't really say that, we don't like black businesses, because Southfield is 80% black.
Exactly.
So, and I know that the city, I know the majority of the members on city council, and I know that they will be supportive, which the city council is majority black at this point. Southfield also has a lot of space available. It has a lot of development opportunities. And I think that if we can condense us together to really say, we're going to build up this spot, I think that we can make it happen. But it's going to take a multi-layered approach, and it's going to have to take black people not being afraid of working together and communicating with black people and really investing in your friends, investing in the community. And it's going to also take us being politicians to make sure that our agenda is being pushed. And we can't just be leasing the buildings. We have to own the buildings and be the developers and be the business owners. There has to be a multi-layer approach to that.
I think change starts, a lot of people say, from the ground up. Or I think it starts within your household, and then you go from block, community by community, and neighborhood by neighborhood, and essentially city by city. I think that restoring people just having a sense of power, even starting with a block club. You could be a block club president, and you can push out these resources that are available to your community, and you can say, hey, this building is for lease at the end of a corner. I have a corner house, it's a building next door to me that needs to be leased out. I'm telling somebody, hey, it'll be a great campaign office, but just anything. Then open a pizza shop, a t-shirt shop, anything. Keep it open. If you want it to be a campaign office, keep it open for kids. I live across the street from EEVPA. Have it as a resource center for kids to come and go. See how much they're leasing it for. Try to buy it. If you can buy it out. It's a lot of buildings for sale off at East Warren. Buy those buildings up, and then start investing. Create a need. Change starts when people feel like there needs to be there's a need for something.
So, in order to take steps to get our Black Wall Street going, we need to invest in one another, and we need to share resources. We can't be stingy, and I don't know why. Sometimes we have this inner competition with each other.
We do.
And we're not people won't even be in the same industry, but they'll be like, well, I have a little internal competition going on.
And it's
for what? But everybody can eat. That's the thing. Everybody can eat. When you see companies and you have a Groupon and a Living Social, you have an Uber and a Lyft, you can have the exact same concept and still make money and still thrive. So if we put our resources together, imagine there's no stopping us. What do we have? $3 trillion? Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I know it's trillion.
I think it is probably $3 trillion. It's $3 trillion within the black community.
And buying power, we need to turn that into, imagine if we just had 1% 2%, 3% of that circling with amongst each other. We could do everything we want. We won't be struggling, and we don't have to ask people for jobs. We can employ each other. How about that?
I think that's important. I definitely think that's important with employing each other or looking for programs and like, oh, they don't accept black people. We can have our own program. As smart as we are, we should be able to do everything that others are doing within our own community. Like you said, I definitely agree with that.
But it starts by pooling our money together and having that common vision of making our community great. Whether it's you want to buy a commercial real estate spot, whether it's you want to start some type of law firm, accounting firm, whatever. You know, there's power in numbers. So I think that you know, definitely sharing resources as well as, I forgot my other point, sharing resources as well. Oh, investing in one another and pulling our resources and income. I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, and like back on your point when you said sharing resources, because the resources are already there. Like people be like, oh, they want help. Help is not coming. Help is already here, and we are the help, and we just need to.
We are the change.
Yes, we just need to tap into it because it's not coming. It's here, and it's right here amongst us, and we're just letting it go by the wayside. Or that's even like going to HBCUs or a PWI. People be like, well, there's no money. Go and get it. It's there. You just gotta tap into it. You just gotta ask. And we're always waiting for a change to come. No, it's right here, right now. So when you say what steps are needed to rebuild Black Wall Street, we just need to recognize the power that we have and grab hold of the resources that have been put out for us. Just as simple as not realizing how powerful we really are and always feel like we're being suppressed or living under a cloud, when if we just recognize how great we truly were, we could really be something. And there's like that meme that's going around and say that, dear white people, we're not our ancestors, you know. We'll beat y'all ass or we'll do this. Well, hello, we not our ancestors, so why is we allowing them to keep us suppressed and keep us in bondage? Let's go get this money.
I think that the main issue is, well, let's start with the fact that a lot of us don't have generational wealth to fall back on. So a lot of us are starting from relatively scratch, and even those parents that do have money, they feel like, and this is just a general and stereotype, and this is kind of true for me, where you need to work. You need to struggle, like I struggle to get what I
tell me that.
Like why?
It's sickening. What? That is sick to me. Like, or like even with working for, like, that's when I say like I love the councilwoman because granted we're only 6 years apart. She's still older, you know, so I treat her as an elder. But between working with a millennial her and working with a baby boomer and somebody else, it's awful. They feel like I have to struggle or I gotta work as hard as they did, how they worked in the 60s. Right. Why? You know, if you've worked that hard, then your progress is in vain. You know, and then I have to work that hard. Our progress is in vain. You know, I shouldn't be working as hard as you did. They think it's for you to be able to appreciate something. No, it shouldn't be like that. I bought like a house. My mom will say, or my granny, excuse me, will say, well, it took me 20 years to pay off a mortgage. I bought my house off the auction through the land bank. I don't have a mortgage. But she still feel like I should work hard. For what? Why? Why should I struggle? If something happens in the house, you know, unwanted expense, oh, well, you better go grind for what? And you got the money sitting in your pocket. You know, that is sickening to me. We need to, we just need to learn how to uplift each other.
Customer service, hands down, is probably one thing that holds us down the most, because you feel like you had one bad experience somewhere, you feel like you had a bad experience at all of them. And black people are guilty of feeling like that. So you know that other cultures are going to feel like that as well. So we really need to, those that do have successful businesses, we need to pour our knowledge into those that come after us, because a lot of people are starting from scratch, but we really need a mentorship, apprenticeship thing, so people know how to properly run your business to be successful. Because if you don't have any customer service, you're not going to have any customers. So,
and I also think that we need to rebuild Black Wall Street is to teach our children and each other that it's okay to have a trade. A 4-year
Yes.
college or
Yes.
you know, a formal education is not for everybody. But whatever you do, be educated in your craft. You could take classes at WC3, Macomb Community College, Oakland, for free. You know, to become a plumber, electrician, things like that that are needed to make your business thrive, or you just to have a company, or mowing the lawn. I cut my own grass on accident. I mean, I did it, but you know, if you teach teach our young boys and girls even how to landscape, that's a business. I would pay top dollar to have somebody come and landscape for me because I don't know how to plant a flower.
Right.
You know, just small things like that that's a necessity to have a nice neighborhood. You know, people invest a lot of money in their homes, but I also think that as parents or as community members, we need to not shun those students who don't believe that going away to college is for them. We need to embrace them and make sure that we let them know of the resources that are available for them to go somewhere else or do something else.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I think no matter what you do, you should always have a trade or a backup or an extra stream of income.
Yeah.
Never hurt anybody.
It don't.
So
They say Detroit hustle harder, so let's get this money.